ఒక్క 5 minutes లో జాయిన్ అవుతాను. Hi everyone, am I audible? Hi, good evening everyone. Okay, now we're going to start the program. We're going to start our webinar on patriarchal awareness. It's a webinar, and today, the first day of our webinar, the keynote speaker of our webinar is Miss Alakya, and she's going to speak about the awareness on patriarchy and how the pros and cons and what are the effects patriarchy in the society and much more. And I would like Ms. Alekya to take the proceedings.
I hope everybody is fine. And last time when we talked about anger management, I think I introduced myself. And for anybody who don't know, I am Alekia. And today we are going to talk about patriarchy. The To anyone that is already in the life, uh, does anybody have a slightest idea about what patriarchy is on a basic level? Can anybody initiate? Because I am not, as I said last
Yes,
time, I am
I,
not a professional. So I would like if we are having a discussion rather than giving it like a lecture, because I am not a lecturer.
I do, I do, I do, I do
Okay.
have a basic understanding about patriarchy.
Okay.
I mean, from ancient era, from I mean, when we see the ancient history, when we go to ancient history, it's all about male dominance. When it comes to percentage, highest percentage, it's about male dominance in the society.
Hmm.
I mean, whether it's private, public, male dominance is much more higher than the female dominance. Even the past recent generations also, when particularly in India, when we got independence, when we are released from the clutches of British, and when Ambedkar produced, made that Hindu Code Bill in the Constitution, all women got the freedom, each and everyone, to do what they want. The society, however she wants to be, however she likes to be, however she wants to look, however she wants to dress. Uh, that that amendment made, freedom came to women from there on in India. I mean, it's really important because it's not all about male dominance. There have to be an equality. There have to be an equality in the society. I mean, for basic understanding, that's what I know. That's it.
Thank you. So, ba- okay. So basically, as we all know, over the evolution, when times have, when men had started evoluting, we we formed a certain groups, okay, to live, to make our living easy. We wanted uh, a leader for us to lead through the pack, the herd, the groups we made for ourselves. Okay, and over the time we have democracy where we elect a leader and we ask them to rule us so that we'll have a very easygoing society. Okay, and there is monarchy where we don't have to elect. There is only one person, and there is no indulging anybody else. They don't have to take any advice. There is no discussions about it. A monarch can do whatever they want. And similarly, a patriarchy is something where a society is ruled by men and women are excluded from it. You can say majority part, or for the whole they are excluded from it, and it is decided that women are below men economically, physiologically, emotionally, and in every way. So how do you think it started? How do you think it is going? And what are patriarchal issues that are actually happening in our society from the start of the times to the modern society that we are living right now? Okay. There are a lot of issues but we need to discuss. But I want to explain how feminism is actually related to patriarchy, so that in this whole discussion, feminism comes up a lot, and I want everybody to understand the meaning of feminism. A lot of people actually say feminism is about uh, equality of both genders. It's bringing equality of two genders and maintaining the balance. But feminism is an equality of genders in the sense where already men have the prominence, and it is about creating equal opportunities for women, thereby making the gender equality. And for everybody who says feminism is about equality of both the genders, no, you're wrong. It is a misconception. Just how racism existed. In the evolution, people, as I said, we formed groups, we formed sects, and we need somebody to tell us what to do. Let's say you are going on a trip, you don't have an itinerary, you don't have a guide, you are going to do whatever you want. Somebody wants to stay in a place for a longer period of time, somebody wants to move from there, somebody don't even want to visit there. And when you're going in a group, in a majority flock, it's not possible to have a very enjoyable trip, because with numerous wants and choices, it'll be impossible for there to be a harmony. And thereby, these people who are elected, who are representing the normal crowd, these people have put themselves in the upper hand, treating the people based on their color, the amount of money they earn, um, uh, based on their gender, a lot of factors. Just like how racism exists, racism is about treating everybody equal, irrespective of their skin color, right? If somebody, not somebody, there are a lot of people who says black lives matter, and there are a lot of people who comes in middle and says all lives matter. If it is about all lives matter, then there need not be a, a revolution at all for people like Martin Luther King to come to spend a lot of time, his whole life, he has dedicated his whole life to give black people their rights. So it's not about all lives, it's about people who are suppressed based on their color, not based on their qualities, their self, but it's about their color. Similarly, how Dalit people are suppressed because of the work they do. It's not about their caste. The caste is made up. It's about the work they do. The work they do is considered as lowly, filthy work. And these people who have considered themselves as the upper, the upper caste or the upper hand, they started treating these people as if they are nothing. And similarly, patriarchy is where men treat women beneath themselves. They think this woman necessarily doesn't need to have a voice, where they can be whoever they want, they can do whatever they want, they can make their own choices. And these people, they decided by themselves that it is because physiologically men have more muscles, men are physiologically stronger than women. They decided for themselves like women are weak, and there it started. And nobody is going to listen if you go to somebody and say, you are weak, I am strong, you have to listen to me. Nobody is going to listen to you that way. So you need greater power to put you on leash, on control. Like, if you are a student, you need to listen to something. If your colleague, your friend, your watchman, your bus driver, you are not going to listen to all these people. So if you are going to listen, you need your teacher, your father, your mother, somebody you are scared about, somebody that can scare you. Okay. And these people started using culture, traditions, scriptures to control women in every form they could. And until today, we see a lot of feminists in the history till today who says, no, it doesn't have to be that way. Women have their own rights. They can do whatever they want and not be shamed for it. Okay. And anyone who comes and says, um, like all lives matter, anybody who comes and says all genders matter, men go through stuff too, they don't know the basics of what feminism stands for, what patriarchy does to women in our society. So today let's break down some of the things that patriarchy does to women. And going to the ancient times, there are people like the feminist I got inspired from, the one feminist that is Raja Ram Mohan Rai. We all know about him. He is, as these people say, for today's women who are dressing however they want, who are doing jobs however they want, who are choosing to be childless, who are choosing to have abortion rights. To all of these women, a lot of a lot of times a single line hear is, we are getting westernized, we are getting influenced from the West, we are choosing to become more westernized, and our culture is going in the drain, and the values, the cultures, the traditions, all of this. So if you go back to 18th century, the first feminist a man who came from a Brahmin family, whose father and mother are ardent Shaivites, Vaishnavites, who believed ardently in the Vedas, the scriptures, who are from the upper caste, a man who came from that, and who understood what's going on in the society with men. He came out and he said about the deadliest culture that existed in that century, which is sati. We have all studied in our social books about it. Uh, I'm sure not more than the Great War of Panipat, where only men want war and death. Not more than that, sati is described. But sati is a practice where women are thrown on the pyres of the burning pyres of their husbands, because society thought there is no value for a woman without her husband. She's as good as dead than being alive without her husband. And these women are made to die on the pyres of their husbands. And this man, who is a Brahmin, who came from an upper caste, who has everything that he wants in the society, who went and studied Persian, Arabic, German, who has a lot of knowledge from the West, he understood that it's not about culture anymore. It's about letting people live their life. He came and he stopped sati. He said women have every right. And the funny thing is, sati is not about just women being thrown into the pyres because their husband is not alive. It is about these people doesn't want the inheritance of the husbands to go to the wives, and that is the reason they want these wives dead. It's not just because the husband doesn't exist anymore. They could always marry somebody else, but it's like the women should dedicate her own self for the only existence of a man, and without him she should neither have a life nor money nor anything in her life. And this man came forward and stopped sati wholehandedly, and he started Brahma Samaj, where a lot of widow remarriages happened, a lot of child marriages were stopped, a lot of these widows who are thrown into the streets, whose husbands have died at a very young age, and none of them are even given uh, rights for their deliveries. And Brahma Samaj made those deliveries for widows possible. And this man is the first man feminist I've ever heard in history. And today, feminism is a meme material, a joke, where we call women who stand up for themselves as fake feminists. feminists or whatever language these meme boys, especially young men who are in their 16 to 25 years of age, and they think that is cool. Like they are the coolest persons alive on this planet, just because they are sitting behind a computer making memes on so-called who needs to be real feminists, who are fake feminists. And these men who don't even know the basics of patriarchy, the basics of how feminism works, these men decide who is a actual feminist, who is not. Funny as it sounds. And coming to patriarchy, the first patriarchy aspect that is abolished, hopefully now, is sati, and then comes menstrual segregation. I think any woman that is present here have gone through it, is going through it, especially in the Hindu families. Menstrual segregation is a tradition where a woman, while menstruating, is asked to stay away outside from the house, is not allowed to touch anything because it becomes impure, it seems. Whatever she touches becomes impure because she is delivering the so-called impure blood, and she is so impure that she goes to a temple and the whole temple becomes impure, you know. And I have seen a video on YouTube where a women, these particular women, I'll tell you about these women later, the torch bearers of patriarchy. These women, a woman is telling in a YouTube video that the reason, the scientific reason why women can't go to temples during menstruation is while she is bleeding, the temple has some magnetic force which pulls her, the women's force, down to, it's like Nityananda basically. It's like M is not equal to MC square, you know, all that bullshit. It's like Nityananda. She is giving scientific reason why women shouldn't go there. You, being a woman, and and our statistics says there are a lot of women who died because of menstrual segregation. It's because there are tribal women, there are women who couldn't afford clean homes, women who couldn't afford a place other than their own home, but they're not allowed to step in, they're not allowed good food, they're not allowed cleanliness in the first place because they're not allowed to touch anything. And there are a lot of women who lost their lives because of a so-called tradition men invented. And when these people say culture traditions, it's because people are scared of divinity. People are scared of God, that God exists, and if you do something wrong, you're going to be punished. And there is nothing more ultimate than a religion or a God to make you do whatever anybody wants. If somebody goes, if somebody is not having children, it's because they have a health issue, the uterus is unable to make the baby, the man is having an issue, the women is having an issue, but our priest go and says, you do a ritual and you're going to have babies miraculously, you know. And these people do it, and coincidentally they have babies and they say it's because of the priest. And so deep is our faith in God, in traditions, in scriptures, that they use these things, these exact things, to control women in every way they can. And menstrual segregation, they say, is very unhygienic. Women send impure blood during those times. Our body is made of atoms, molecules, chemicals. There is nothing that is impure in your own body. Even when you excrete the food you eat, the chemicals break them down. Your body works in such a way that it will send anything that is not needed for your body. It's not because it is unhygienic, it is bad, it is impure or something like that. It sends out what you don't need in your body anymore, and because of it, if the functioning of your body may malfunction, as simple as it is. And um, other than menstrual segregation, there is dowry, the uh, what do you call it, the undebatable, the never ending on the loop system, where the the government groom gets 1 crore, but a private groom gets only 50 lakhs. If the groom is earning only 10,000, he gets only uh, 10,000 ko to market will be 5 lakhs, no? 5 lakhs to mandatory hai, because with this 10,000 per month, when is that poor fellow is going to earn 5 lakhs in how many years? It might take him years and years, where he can earn it overnight. And then there are people who will come and say, okay, then don't look at groom's property, then marry your girl to an auto rickshaw driver, marry your girl to a beggar. You, will anybody marry their daughters to beggars? Will anybody marry their sons to beggars? Such an idiotic comparison they bring onto the table when somebody comes and say patriarchy is as real as it can be. These explanations, these examples are given to invalidate the actual patriarchy that is going on, because these people don't want to accept it. Once they accept it, they have to change, and nobody wants to give away something that is given to them by birth. Women have to earn their place by saying, oh no, I'm not a bad girl, I am a good girl, I take care of my family, I take care of my in-laws, my husbands, I leave my job for my kids. Oh, I'm crossing 25. Oh, I should give birth by this time, because if I become old, I might not be able to take care, I'll become so arrogant, I'm getting westernized. But this husband don't even know how to turn on a washing machine, and that doesn't bother anybody, honestly. Honestly, that doesn't bother anybody, which is the funniest thing. And people coming to rescue, for how dowry works in North India. They say, when you go to dowry and they say, we need 5 lakhs, we need 10 lakhs, 50 lakhs is minimum. What, you're putting this car, we need that car. And they'll say, we have sent we have brought up our son by giving them badam, pista, all the nutritious food. So they may as well give the bill from DMart, Ratandeep, everything, and these these girls' parents can pay everything from the diapers to whatever they spent on their son from the time he was born. With, as funny as it sounds, it is true. And the market starts from the kind of work the men do. And for the argument, they say, don't look at the uh, groom's property also. They have to look at the groom's property, because patriarchy is made in such a way, the woman has to leave her home, the home where she is born, the home where she was brought up from her childhood, where she's comfortable, where she can do whatever she wants. Hopefully, even not in her own home, I don't think she can do, but still, it's her home. She needs to come away from that home. She needs to go into a new home. She needs to change her surname. She's expected to cook. She's expected to clean. She's expected to do everything that is basically necessary for a human life. It is necessary for human life, but it is a responsibility of a woman. She is expected to depend on that family for good or for bad for her entire life. And whatever she does, she is going to be identified as that family, not her family anymore. Her until she is in a home, she is identified by her father's surname, and once she comes to another home, She is supposed to be identified by her husband's surname. So is it even possible to not look at the financial situation of a family that she's going to live for an entire life? No, it's not. And the debate that people bring into this senselessly, so stop searching for a government groom. Stop demanding, stop selling yourself in the market, saying, I am a government groom and I deserve a 1 crore dowry, which is as funny as it can get. And even the dowry, even if it's illegal, we have found a lot of ways to make it legal, like through when you say it is for your daughter only, it's not for us, she have to live peacefully, and there are a lot of women who are doctors, who are earning more than the groom's side, and still they are expected to pay. A lot of doctors families, actually, if you go and see in Google, you'll find a lot of spaces where women come out and said by themselves. If you go to Chinmay Sripada's page, I think in the highlights you can see a lot of people coming and telling, this girl is a doctor, the boy is a doctor, they're going to get married, and these people come and say, we are expecting at least 2 crore because our son wants to do MBA. And whatever she is earning through her salary, it should be given to our family. Then where is the financial freedom that she needs? Nowhere to be seen. And leave over the financial freedom, leave over the dowry, leave over the menstrual segregation. We are not even allowed to wear whatever we want without being said or called names like a slut, a whore. She's asking for it, she wants it, she's seeking for attention. You see any marriages, have you seen a Brahmin Pantulu uncle come in a suit? I have never seen. They come in a bare chest, bare body, showing their big tummy and sitting in front. They can wear whatever they want because scripture says so. Scripture says so. They can not wear anything and be proud of it, which is amazing because they can. That the Constitution gave you that freedom. You can wear whatever you want. You can have an attire, go anywhere you want, unless it is not demeaning somebody, it's not hurting somebody. You are not doing it to derogate somebody. You are allowed to wear whatever you want. I know I don't see no meme pages on Facebook or Instagram going around and saying, have you seen that Pantulu's tummy? He came with no shirt today. Have you seen those bare chest, the amount of hair that is there? He didn't even clean it. What a person, yeah. None of them. But you see a girl is wearing a tight t-shirt and a skirt that is above her knee length. She is wearing a knee length skirt and she's asking for respect. How is it possible? It's not possible, no? You need to wear sari with a pallu if you want respect. That also we'll give only what we decide. The kind of respect what we want. Even if you wear a sari with a pallu, we'll give you respect in the way we want to, saying, isn't that blouse too low neck? Isn't it too revealing? Why don't you wear it only in front of your husband? Yeah? Why you're wearing it in front of everybody? So you're asking for it again. And the new trend we see in all the movies, Ram Charan, NTR, Prabhas, starting from any movie to Bahubali, six-pack, it seems. They will eat, they will do six-pack, they will have a charming body which makes them so masculine and so wanted. These women are going to drool on men saying, oh, look at his six-packs. And this is a celebration for us. Like, where These men worked so hard to get that body, and these men are to be praised for their willpower to get that exact body, which is very true. And when a, a heroine hits a gym to get that gym body, to get that low waist, to get that slim, perfect figure that is again designed by the society for her, is not designed by her, the society for her, then she never get praised, she never gets said it is a celebratory thing, the woman is taking care of her body, look at her chest, look at her waist, look at her thighs, she is always in shape. No, it's again, oh, look at her thighs. What did I say? Coin box means it's like they decide the number of inches your top can be or your blouse can be. It can be, you know, probably 7 inch. If it is reduced to 5 to 4 inch, it is too deep. If it is 6 inch, it is bearable. It is 3 inch, then it is coin box, where you can drop the coins. As derogatory, stupid, idiotic it can sound, this is the actual truth that is going on in the society right now. And unfortunately, the men that is doing all these things are youngsters who are supposedly tomorrow's society, tomorrow's lot, the population that is going to take our society up tomorrow. This is what the today's youth is doing. Nobody is telling them go to the streets, fight for women, fight for women's right. No, you just don't have to derogate women that are already imposed on her in a lot of ways. Do your job, be a normal person, be very normal, don't be good, be normal. It's too much apparently to ask them. If you go and have a debate or conversation with these meme pages who term heroines clothing their uh, their characters, their everything in the movies that are seen, they say వాళ్ళు చూపిస్తున్నారు మేము చూస్తున్నాం. Look at it, nobody is stopping you. The way you are looking at a six pack, you are allowed to look at a waist, you are allowed to look at a woman's chest. Nobody is covering your eyes. Your eyes are there to look biologically, but it doesn't give you the right to degrade and demean somebody and say she's asking for it. Nobody is asking for it. Just like Prabhas didn't ask in Bahubali, just like NTR didn't ask from RRR, just like Ramcharan didn't ask in RRR, no woman is asking for it. The basic common sense that people should put in their brains is everybody is allowed to wear whatever they want and not be shamed for it. That is done. And I keep thinking, and there are a lot of things coming in. I don't know what to discuss first. So, there is maternity. Sorry for that. So now there went dowry, menstrual segregation, and the clothing we wear. What else do we get shamed for? I mean, a lot of things. I'm speaking from a lot of time. So can anybody in the audience come and tell me, especially women who who are thinking what they get shamed for on a regular basis from their families, from outside, from their workspace, anyway, so that we can take this forward, we can discuss more. Oh, no, woman. Apparently, your families are very good. No, woman. Wow. Okay. So let's talk about deeper aspects, that is sexual abuse. The basics where women are controlled about wearing their clothing and they say she's asking for it. Let's go where how sexual abuse work and how patriarchy and as I said before, in patriarchy, it is, when I say patriarchy and a system where that is suppressing women, I don't say it is done only by men. It is done by both genders. I think I believe why women are involved it is because favorism exists in every place, and these women just want to feel good about themselves by connecting themselves to the men that are controlling, to the patriarchy that controls these women bodies, because they don't have, they don't want to be targeted. Let's say you have a class, there's a class teacher who has certain rules for the class peoples, and there is a class leader. That fellow itself is mischievous, but he is a class leader and he doesn't want to, turn as a naughty person. So he gets associated with the teachers, he gets associated with the principals. He always stays on the good side, even if it is not okay. He keeps on saying whatever you say is perfect. Your will is my command. You're staying always on the good side of the people, trying to belong in the tribe. So where these women who doesn't have a problem with patriarchy, and these women come and say, I am not like every other woman, which is a common term used to segregate these good women and bad women, these good women and supposedly women who go along with patriarchy, who says patriarchy is uh, amazing, who says everything, just a second. Who says amazing, I don't have a problem with getting suppressed. I am very fine with my job. I'll sit in my home. I will clean. I will wash everybody's clothes. I will take care of the kids. I don't have any other problem other than this, because I am not like other women. I am I am a good woman. To have the designation where this patriarchy chose divide and rule, where they termed the women who are okay with patriarchy as good women, and women who are not okay, who says my life, my choice, as bad women. And from the childhood, we grew up a lot in our homes, every South Indian woman, because I've never been to North Indian households. We have grown up hearing, um, you are a good girl. Good girls don't do that. Good girls do all this work. Good girls don't dress that way. Good girls don't talk that way. Good girls don't drink. Good girls don't smoke. Good girls don't wear those kind of clothes. They always take care of the people in their homes. You know, this divide and rule where people taught these women that if you stay with us, if you stay with the patriarchy, you're not going to face the wrath of patriarchy. You're not going to be shamed for anything you do, because basically you're agreeing to whatever we say. And this sector of women are as bad as a woman, as bad as a men that are involved in the patriarchy. And when feminists or any other person comes and talks about patriarchy, it is about the people involved in it. It's not about men. It's not saying we hate men. It's saying we hate people who are the torch bearers of patriarchy. That being cleared, the sexual abuse, there are terms called mansplaining, gaslighting. These terms are used when a survivor comes forward and says, "This happened to me." Anywhere where somebody comes and questions and asks, if you have been abused before what, 6 months, by somebody that is superior to you, by somebody in the family, anywhere. Why did you choose to come forward and say it now? Why didn't you say it then? It's simple. You are in a school, you didn't do your homework. The teacher is supposed to just ask you or send you out or give you more homework, give you imposition, give you dictation, whatever that is. But there are some people who beat you to the pulp, who scare you the most, and you are very vulnerable in that situation because the person is more powerful than you. The person is already in the system. Your mind doesn't cope up in that way where you think, okay, I'm going to go against them and say this is wrong. If our mind is made that way, if everybody's mind is made that way, there won't exist any ism. The isms that are there in today's society, like communism, racism, the moments where people have to make a movement to for people to acknowledge and educate that you shouldn't discriminate people based on their skin color or their job or their financial situation or their gender. There are, it doesn't take a lot of people to dedicate their whole lives to bring out moments if it is that simple, because it is not that simple. It takes time for you, especially in a place where you felt safe and it is happening to you. It is not easy for you to come and say no. A lot of women find saying no very hard because from a very young age we are taught that good girl syndrome. We think saying no is rude and being rude is bad. We don't want to be bad people. We want to be good people. We want to be called good. Everybody feels good being called good. So we don't want to be that people who say no, who say being rude, because our mothers does literally everything. Our mothers can cook anything in just 5 minutes. Our mothers can keep our homes clean in just 5 minutes. Anything can happen in that 5 minutes. So we are basically expected to basically do everything without saying no to it. And when you say no to something, you feel awkward yourself rather than the person listening to it. You feel awkward by yourself. So it is inherently very hard for women to say no, and that is the major reason where laws say you don't even have to hear no if the person didn't say yes. Silence is not saying yes. Silence is not accepting whatever that is being done. Even if the person doesn't say no, according to the law, if the person didn't say yes, if the person is not into the act, so it is wrong. It is non-consensual. Okay, and um, coming to gaslighting, where a lot of people come and say this happened to me, and somebody goes there and say this happens to a lot of people, not just you. Don't pretend so that you get a lot of attention to yourself, so that uh, you think you are somebody that this is being done for the first time to you. It happens to everybody. This is the common, don't make an issue. Or this is a very small thing that has happened to you. There are a lot of things that happen to a lot of people, or when they come and tell you, you imagine that in your mind. Last time though you said yes, no, I remember you saying yes, and saying I treat you like a sister. You're misunderstanding it. I treat you like a daughter. You're misunderstanding it. My feelings are really hurt because I thought you really like me. Or our popular phrase called friend zone, bro zone, where you, the woman who is supposedly having a very good relationship with a man, have to be in a relationship with a man. Otherwise, she is a bad person for friend zoning. And that poor fellow, with high hopes of being her lover, being her boyfriend, is very hurt right now because that girl simply choose a platonic relationship. From beginning, she must have imagined like, oh, if this guy is coming to me and talking to me and giving me a chocolate or pretending that I look good or say giving me a compliment or basically being there for me, this might lead to a relationship or him asking me to sleep with him. And I'll imagine all of this stuff on day one and just say no to it. This woman should imagine it on a loop for the very long time that might happen. If she doesn't, if she is very platonic with everything he's doing, and one day when he comes and tries to take advantage or says, I really love you, I want to be with you, and this girl have no power to reject, else she becomes a mean material again. They come and say, bro zone, friend zone, poor guys, heartbroken, all of this. But you are not going to see the guy intention, like he never had a genuine friendship, he never had a genuine admiration for the girl. He only has an agenda while approaching her, which funnily is not even seen as a bad motive for these men. We won't. If we talk about dowry, we have to talk about government groom. If we talk about abuse, we have to talk about there are women abusers too. If we talk about sati, I don't know, since it's abolished and no men are thrown to fire to their death, nobody will talk about it anyway. So there are, and men get abused too because of patriarchy. Till now, how I said, women are abused, women are taken away their rights for everything they want to do, women are suppressed. Does it affect men in patriarchy? 100%. Where every individual, every human being wants to do whatever they want. They want a freedom of their own career, freedom of their own choice of line of work or how they want their life to be living. But these men are expected, no matter what, even if it is not your choice, even if you don't want to do it, even if you want to be a house husband, you're not allowed to, because you are masculine, you are made that way. Sir, you are physiologically, you have more muscles than women. So you have to be the head of the family. You have to do the hard work. You cannot allow a woman to be the head of the family because you'll be laughed upon. Or this man cannot even control his wife, cannot even control his own family. You have to be laughed upon. This man right here won't even have a choice other than being the head of the family, getting everything on his head, for everything that his wife does, for everything that his children does, for everything that his neighbors does, for everything that his dog does, everything. This man is supposed to take responsibility because he is the head of the family. He might not choose anything other than that. He is not allowed to be feminine. He is not allowed to cry. He is not allowed to have emotions other than a line or a percentage of emotions that he is allowed to have. He will be allowed to have only a certain amount of emotions. Like we say, if a man cries, it is because he is hurt. If a woman cries, it is because she does it every day. She takes a bottle, she cries, she fills it up, puts in the fridge and drink it later. Every day. Because that's what woman does.
Stereotypes.
And stereotypes. Yes. That's what a woman does. And they say, and to sum it up, again, they say a man should have mustache. Man who doesn't have mustache are not masculine enough. Man who can't keep their wives in control, literally, the wife jokes, where these days both husband and women are working. In the 10 years, 15 years before, not every woman is working. Okay, let's say 30 years before, in my mother's childhood or her mother's childhood, not every woman is working. What do you think these women have to do in their homes? They got nothing to do other than keeping the home clean. Of course, that is all they're given. While these men can go to work, make friends, drink diluted a culture where these women go to their neighboring women, have friendships, sit at home, watch soap operas to pass their time, and basically it's their work to take care of their home. And even that, as already it is as hard as it is to take care of the whole home by themselves, and they are being made fun for the amount of serials they watch, for the amount of gossip they do. It has come to a point where they have decided women cannot live without gossip. And these so-called men who doesn't gossip apparently will sit and talk about everything that exists in this universe, but doesn't term it as gossip. They don't term it. They can have daru and talk about anything that is existing in this universe, but that is not gossip, because man never do gossip. He always do intellectual discussions. Whatever a man does, they are intellectual discussions for the betterment of the world, for betterment of the universe. Without them, no no evolution, I think, doesn't exist. But that is not gossip. That is, they they are they are doing the society a favor by discussing all these things so vigorously, especially about politics, especially about how work should be, about how women should be, about how his wife is not letting him lie. His wife is not letting him forget about the chores she asked. His wife is not letting him forget about the groceries she asked. His wife, these all comes under nagging. But he forgets doing chores. He forgets bringing groceries. But it's not his fault, because he has better things to do, like improving the society, bring up the standards of the world, while women just gossip in the kitchen, doing all the work, making your food, washing your clothes, cleaning your utensils, changing your baby's diapers. And funny thing is, women are expected to have maternal leaves, but men are not expected to have paternal leaves. And people say it is a bullshit argument because they don't understand the point where the expectation of women that she has to take care, and there is no expectation for a man that he also has a responsibility. If you say he takes responsibility, he does, and he have to. There's nothing great about it. But do society perceive it that way? As soon as the delivery is done, the mother has to lactate, she has to feed the baby. So she is already under the work. And apart from feeding, there are a lot of things that needs to be done for the baby. And it is not expected for the men to do. And there's men that say, don't lie, every man does it, every woman does it, every man does it, but it's not expected of them, which is wrong with the society. And if this woman decides to not have children, and this woman is so-called westernized, she is so westernized that she cannot decide when she needs to have kids. She cannot decide depending upon her financial situation, depending upon her economic, depending upon her job description. She cannot decide for it because the society already decided if she has no rights on her own uterus, because it works that way. That's how patriarchy expect women to work. You are not supposed to wear anything you want because you are asking for it, but men can have six pack. They have motivation. They are so dedicated that they're working upon themselves. They're going to gym, they're building a body, and they're amazing for it. But the same thing a woman does, she takes care of her body. She goes to the gym. She has an hourglass figure that is again designed by the society for her, not by her. She is shamed again with the terms that is not decided by her. She is she have to be called. Why does she even show it if she doesn't want to? She doesn't want something to happen to her. Like basically, the men, the six packs, the bare bodies, the Brahmin uncles who goes to puja without the thoughts, and these men who comes to malls everywhere with short shorts. These people are not asking for it. These are not uh, opening their bodies to the societies. These are not strangling our culture to death. None of these people are doing it. Only women who wear shorts, who wear low t-shirts, these people are doing it. And men are abused too. But how many men in your circle have come forward and told you, we are abused by this way, by this person at this point of time? i've I have never met more than 10 people, 10 men in my life who came and told me. It's not because it didn't happen to them. It's because it'll make them feminine. It will take away their so-called masculinity, where they don't have control over themselves or the people that are doing to them. Men are supposedly expected to have control of the situation of the people of the society. So if a man comes and say, my wife beats me or somebody abused me, I am going through a domestic violence, they are they are usually shy about it, because they very well know they're going to be called, what kind of a man are you to talk like that? And the other men don't even care about what this man going through. They don't care about how it should be prevented, how it should be stopped, how men can also have secure life, secure family, secure living. All they care about this particular situation is, when a woman comes and say, when a feminist comes and says patriarchy exists, women are not having the freedom they deserve, then these people are going to remember, this is happening to a man too. No, other than that situation, nobody is going to remember it. They are going to simply have drinking sessions and make fun of their wives or girlfriends, or make macho jokes about their classmates, which is basically fun. When you make the same joke on their sisters, the same joke on their mothers, it is very offensive. Very offensive. And the biggest threat anybody can give to anybody is about their mothers, about the women in their families, because apparently we carry shame in our bodies. We carry shame in our women carry the torch of shame for the whole family, for the whole nation. Your clothes carry shame, your choices carry shame, the way you talk carry shame. You're not supposed to talk back. Otherwise you're a controlling wife. Otherwise you'll become a meme wife, meme jokes, where it is nagging. I don't understand the term where people say, once you're married, your life is done. Why is that? Like, why don't you take your wife to the with your drinking buddy gatherings then? So let your wife know how fun it is, so that she'll understand the next time you come home late, the next time you lie to her about drinking and all the nagging, she'll understand, oh, he's just having very chill time for himself. Why not let him be? Why don't you take her? But you won't, because those conversations are nasty. Those times are nasty. At least, not everybody. Again, there comes not all men. But none of them wants their sisters or mothers or wives to go with their own friends alone at night or get drunk with them alone. I don't understand why. Because not all men, your friends are good, your conversations are good, the things you talk about are good. And then there comes the people in the defense. It's just guy talk. There is nothing wrong in it. We are not going to go and rape women with those talks. The rapists are not born one day as a baby and then thinks, okay, my aim is to become a rapist and go rape a woman. No, there's a society that made them, the conditions they're brought up in, the environment that told them a woman's a woman's body is full of shame, and if you violate it, you can hurt that woman, and it's your right to take it if she is roaming in the night, she is wearing less, because that's not the standards that are given for the women. The standards that are given for them is stay at homes, cover yourself all the time. If you're not doing that, you are entitled to say that they're asking for it. They are coin boys. They are whatever memes that exists out there. You can rape them because at 12 o'clock she's outside. She is having a good time with her boyfriend. She is wearing very short clothes. The men who are brought up in poor conditions, where women are treated very badly in their homes, in their societies, think it is okay. It is okay to treat them that way. And when you are having the same discussions in your circle, when you are having the same kind of talks with your buddies, and you don't say it is wrong, the cycle is going to go on and on and on, and you don't have a right to come and say it is just a joke, because it is not just a joke. If it is just a joke, it'll be okay with the joke being said about your mother or your sister, but you won't be happy about it. If your buddy comes and say, "Arey, have you seen our classmate, that girl? She have posted a pic on Instagram with that dress," and you laugh about it. The same joke you make about your sister. "I've seen your sister. She's wearing that kind of dress. I want to do something to her, or she's looking like that, like this." The guy is not going to laugh about it. It's not funny anymore. Unless you understand the whole point of patriarchy, where it is designed in such a way that women cannot, even men cannot, live their own lives on their own terms without being subjected to shame, without being shamed for their choices, for their clothing, for the way they talk, for the work of line they choose. It is not okay. You don't have a right to comment about it. You don't have a right to say the other side of the coin have flaws too. Only when you accept both sides of the coin, you have a right to come forward and say, this happens too, not just for the women, for men also. And when we say it's because of the clothing, it's because of the way, the timing and everything, women are being abused. A lot of women, I have talked to a lot of women I have seen, are being abused from a very young age by their own family, by their own relatives, by their own friends. And even when they confronted with their family members, they are made to see them on an everyday basis, because it is very common. And we cannot cut ties with family, even if it is toxic, because it is so common. Summing up everything, patriarchy is basically saying women are supposed to be beneath men. Men are supposed to be the head of the family, the head of the society, where they can control the functions, the works that are being held at every part of the society, in the workspace, in the families, in any kind of institution. And women will be questioned for every choice they make. And men, even they like it, they don't like it, they have to go through it. They have to be the head of the family. They have to bear that on their head, take that stress. And the suicide rate of men is much higher than women. According to women, feminism is bringing equality to both genders, where men is already inherently given opportunities and women are not. So bringing these feminine people to the par and giving them equal opportunities is what feminism works for. The next time you see somebody crying about men, not all men, or men get abused to, all of these things, you can go and ask your menace, so-called hashtags, and all these people who really want to work hard for the male abusers, male victims, male, people, the men going through about it. You can go, you can talk to them, you can tell all your problems to them, because they will solve about it, because they trend hashtags, right? Men are victims too, men have problems too. So the next time when you say feminism have to fight for men, it won't. You go to a menist, they will fight for you. Just like racism is not about all lives matter, which is very wrong. Racism is about Black Lives Matter. It's because Black people are shunned, Black people are not given enough opportunities. The 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 good, the whatever they want in their life, it is being snatched away just because of their skin color. And whatever opportunities that are to be given to the women are being snatched away because of the gender they're born in. And if it still doesn't make sense for these kind of people, ignore them or guide them kindly to the menace. That's all about this. It'll go on and on and on, because we are suppressed and shamed for a lot of things in lot of ways from lot of years.
That's really a wonderful, insightful, thought-provoking, mind-blowing
Okay.
speech, comparisons, and ideas and thoughts. I mean, I can't take the. Actually, we all say I can't take my eyes off of you, and now I'm gonna say I can't take my ears out of your speech. Okay. Uh, Finally, that's a wonderful comparison on racism and feminism. Racism means it's all about uh, white and black. Uh, Feminism means fighting for women, and there come the comparison between men and women. Now, anybody who has any questions or any doubts can ask. I have a few questions.
Okay.
First question: if you are giving the ultimate, unimaginable amount of power, how can you eradicate patriarchy?
No amount of power is going to eradicate patriarchy, because it is a personal choice. It happens only when everybody consciously take a decision and treats everybody equal, and don't judge or shame the others for who they are. No amount of power is going to do that, because no amount of power eradicated nothing. There are people who are given ultimate power, but nothing is eradicated. Like poverty is still there, unemployment is still there, racism is still there, casteism is still there. You
I mean,
it is not.
I, I'm asking particularly you. How, if you
How
have
do
the
you
power,
think we can?
if you have the power, what steps you're gonna take? to even reduce patriarchy? I want your perspective.
I will first start a men's organization where these men can go and cry about all the problems that they are facing. First, I think we should clear their minds, clear their problems that they are having, so that they will also feel they can be given attention, because from the oldest times we are giving attention to only women's bodies. All the poetry is about women, all the emotional stuff is about women, and these men might be feeling we are not taken seriously, or we are basically not being praised enough. And to have that attention, these might these men might be using the only thing that they are allowed to use, which is masculinity, basically. So I think if more men can come, more men protection NGOs can come, and these men can feel safe, sound, given enough attention, and they can go soft on women and think, okay, this is how it should be, maybe.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. I mean that's what I am talking when I started this organization. We all need to increase our thought process a little bit higher. We all need to start thinking, we all need to start our thoughts a little bit mature. We have to think mature. I mean, that's what I'm saying from the beginning. No amount of no amount of racism, no amount of patriarchy, no discriminations. I mean, I want to bring awareness on these kind of discriminations, and don't judge a person on caste, race, religion, I mean money, fame, status. No. Respect a person based on his or her skill, ideology, thought process. I mean the quality of thoughts he or she possesses, the maturity, I mean how he or she can bring an awareness to the world. That's what we should have to look at. No, don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, we don't know what one can possess in their treasury. I mean, that's what I'm saying from the beginning, from the start of this organization. I mean, I want to bring an awareness that to eradicate this kind of discriminations. I want each and every human being to increase the level of our thought process. I mean, it's only then only we can eradicate this kind of patriarchy, all this kind of stuff. I mean, I strongly believe that mindset, thought process is the most important thing in for every human being. I mean, a calculated speech can change a group of people, but an ideological thought can change the whole world and advance it. That's written by me. Now, okay, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you very much. That's a wonderful, insightful, thought provoking, ideological speech by Ms. Alekia. I mean, it's really a pleasure for having you. I mean, more and more people, uh, I mean, this kind of awareness needs to be more and more. We have to take this into the whole world. I mean, we are still living in the clutches of these kind of patriarchal issues. Not only this, there are many more. We will bring one one upon one time on. And thank you for everyone for being here. Wonderful, wonderful webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.